Welcome to my channel. Now it's time to fit the new oak staircase in this house, and it's just about to be delivered, and then we'll start fitting it in, and it's a job that I really like. So we're fitting the stairs to walls that have been plastered, and this is something we're doing a lot more now because this is an oak staircase and we want to make sure it doesn't get damaged. We can fit it in, we can protect it, it can be finished as a second fix item, as opposed to how we used to do it years ago, where we'd fit the stairs first and plaster them in. So this is a slightly different technique, but a technique that's getting adopted more and more as we change the way we build in the UK.
Yeah.
It looks the right shape and size. That's a good start. So the stairs were successfully delivered, and I've checked everything. We have everything we need. Now I'm just doing a little bit of prep work before I get stuck into it. So these are the newel posts, and what I personally like to do is just take off a very tiny bit of the edge. Basically we call it an arris. That's the first job. And also take off any of the stickers that we've got. I just use a really sharp chisel for these, and you're going to get a bit of paper stick like that, but with the sharp chisel you can literally just get behind them and get them off. And I think it's important to get all the stickers off, especially on the bits you're going to polish or stain, as soon as you can, especially when it's warm. I think that when it's warm weather they seem to stick a lot more. So once I've taken the sticker off, using the chisel, a little bit like what we call cabinet scraper, just taking off any of that sticker residue that's there. And then I'll just get this last bit of routing done. Frank's come and joined me. Frank from Australia, Frank Schipano. You may have seen him in an earlier video or two in the channel. Award-winning chippy from Australia, come to see how we fit staircases here in the UK. And we're all set up. We've got ourselves our plywood here. This is really important actually, because we like to protect the steps. And now is the perfect time to make all of those steps, because they're all loose, so we can offer them on, mark them out, cut them out quickly, number them, and we'll have them as we assemble it. We can then put the protection on the stairs. Let's crack on, Frank, eh?
Sounds good, let's do it.
So these are all the parts, right? So if you're not familiar with the terms, because we're going to be working together putting the staircase in, I'll run through them. So everything's square and long, and newel posts. You probably call them exactly the same.
Yeah, yep.
You've also got, these are some of the wedges which actually hold the treads and rises and steps. They're caps, newel caps. They're the glue blocks, the triangles there. And then you've got the dowels, you call them dowels as well, do you? This is a kite winder, because it's the shape of a kite, obviously. And this is a winder, okay? Which is generally a triangle. And these are risers. This piece here is the landing nosing. You can see there, it's like a short step effectively. And then there's some of the other components like the strings that we have to put together. And that step is the bottom step, and we call that a curtail step, a single curtail step. Ball noses are similar, except the ball nose would actually be running round and into a newel, okay? So it would just be the corner taken off, as opposed to something going right the way round here. And sometimes you get things called double curtail, which means that you've got one of those on either end, okay? So this is a single right-handed curtail. And it looks like there's a lot of parts here. Now this is literally just got to be assembled, and we start at the top of the stairs, believe it or not, with the top flight. So that's the one I've got out in the hall ready. But what I'd like you to do, Frank, while I'm fiddling around and getting the newel post on that and those bits, is we're gonna make some protection for all of these treads. So one by one, take them out, copy them, rail saw them up. If you can just allow for the housing, otherwise they'll be too long. So you just need to know how far they go into those strings and allow for them. As we put the stairs in, we can use those to actually cover everything up and keep it in good order. All right, mate, so we're set up. You go out there and do that, and I'll start getting on with this top flight.
Yeah, perfect.
While Frank gets on outside, making up all of these tread protectors, I'm going to start putting the top flight together, ready to go in, which involves making an adjustment here. This is where the nosing is going to go, if you like, the top landing nosing, and there's the rise which forms the step. But I've got my existing flooring is in, so I'm going to take off this section here, which will sit on the flooring. We're also then going to put the top newel post on, which basically involves gluing it on, doweling it together and getting the riser and the tread in, and then we're going to hang it over the top of the landing. So I'm going to get on and do that, make any adjustments I need to make to the ceiling, and then we'll hook it in, and that starts the setting out of the staircase. So what I've got here is what I call a dry fit. I've got the newel post on the tenon, the mortise and tenon together. I've also got the riser in loose. That enables me to cut the nosing, okay? So some parts are supplied long. This nosing is supplied long. So all I've done here is I've stood it in its housing and I've marked it exactly where the housing on the other side is. Now what you can also see is, because I'm putting this together on its side, which is obviously the best way, I've got a little bit of batten clamp there, which is a support which keeps everything parallel and square. What you want to avoid doing is having that hanging off there and the stair fall over, or it puts the joint in twist. It's really important that you can get everything pulled up nicely all the way around, so when you put the actual stairs in situ, it's going to be absolutely true and perfect. Now, quite often you'll have to notch the newel post over your landing. It depends how tight it is. We try to make it fit so the newel is actually hitting the timberwork behind. Right, I've set everything out. I'm just going to put this top flight together. This is the start point. Once I've got this bit together, then it's just a matter of assembling it, start assembling it in situ. So it can take some time, and you've just got to really think about it. Now, I've cut all the components, so obviously the riser was already cut. I've cut the nose in. I've got the newel post here, and I've also got a piece of batten, which is my support effectively, which is this to enable me to pretty much do this on my own. I've had it together, so I've done a dry run. Now these joints are all really tight, so you want to get your glue on. Don't use a really fast PU glue. I use a typical wood glue, okay? And what I tend to do is use the glue in its pot if possible, and also use a little brush. So glue the mortise, not the tenon, otherwise when you push a tenon in, the glue will spurt out and you've got to start cleaning it off. So we'll just run a little bit of glue around the inside of here. All right, and then we use a brush and we can just literally just brush that all in there, get some decent coverage as well. It's pretty warm today, so I want to be pretty quick with all of this. Now I can put the nose in and the riser in afterwards, which is fortunate. So for now, I'm going to slide that on. Now we need a little bit of leverage for this. Now the reason why we need to make sure that we've got a little bit of batten, because now it's going to want to fall over. So I'm just going to pop the bit of batten in here, and that's the same height as that. Pop a clamp on just so as I knock it about, it's not going to move here. And then I'm just going to use a rubber mallet or a hammer with a block to knock this joint up. Okay, so on this side, the tread goes into its housing properly. Okay, if you've not got that aligned and you start bashing it up, it's not going to go. So I'm going to put a foot on the inside of the string just to hold this down. It's held nice and true. I'm not going to distort anything, and I'm going to start giving it a little tap, and we're going to watch the joint come up here. So the idea is we're going to get it parallelish to the shoulders, all right, and we're going to look through these holes where the dowels are going to go, and that's basically what I want to do. You can see it's quite a tight job. Using some leverage of the post, I can pull it up. So you can see the shoulders now have come right up tight. And once you're really happy with that, it's a matter of getting our dowels in now. So the holes are misaligned deliberately. Pick a nice dowel without too many splits. And we're just going to take this to a short stubby point. Doesn't want to be too long, because when we knock it through, on the other side, there's only a short hole. They don't go right through. So when we're knocking in, we're going through the mortise, through the tenon, and just into the other side, and it's going to keep the joint really tight. I'll just show you the end of that. Simply like that. Spot of glue straight in the hole. Again, not on the dowel because it will just all come round. So you want to put a bit of glue in the hole. Give that a little twist. And then you can use a hammer on these because they're generally left long and we can cut them off. And you want to just start driving them through until you can see those joints come right up. So this process is called draw doweling. And if you watch the shoulder there, it's really tight. And then we'll do the same on the bottom here. And you can see that now the joint is absolutely perfect. See, it looks like it's got a bit of an angle because it's pulling it through. It's going to go through the tenon and into the hole in the other side of the newel and really lock it. Now what we're listening for is a sound. It's going to go like a dead sound. It's ringing at the moment, and that means we've hit the other side. You don't want to go too hard, you'll smash it right through. There. There. So that joint is effectively ready. Now while I've got it all held, I'm going to put the riser and the nosing in. Again, I'm going to glue the riser to the back of the tread here. Just going to run a nice thin bit of glue there. I'm also going to glue it into the housing here, and I'm going to put glue in all the other joints as well with a brush. It's much easier to apply it. Right, so the riser slots up in. It's already pre-piloted. Obviously that's where we're going to be fixing through. That's the face side. And we're going to push it up into this groove here all the way, and then we're going to let it drop back to where it is here. Now we're not going to push it up, of course, because we haven't got our nosing in yet. That's going to go in now. I'm going to drop the nosing in here, pull it all the way forward there, and then at this point we're going to just ease the riser into the groove. Traditionally we don't glue the riser to there because these used to be softwood or hardwood and they used to shrink. It was the work of the glue block that actually stopped the squeaking. It allowed it to shrink and pull the tread with it. We don't tend to do that anymore, but being MDF, you're not going to get any shrinkage. So what we're going to do then is we're going to get it to this position. It's pulled right up tight to there, and using the screws into the back of the tread, we're going to screw that in, and that's effectively the top tread and riser in to form the top step. So making sure it's all pulled up really nice and tight. We're going to put our screws straight through the back. And that's going to give us a really solid top tread. So that's pretty much it for now. Now you can clean the dowels off now if you want. In fact, it's probably easier on this particular one because it's going to be quite tight into the stairwell. So I'm going to clean those off. So there's a number of ways of doing this. You can use a multi-tool, you can use a handsaw. You don't want to rub the handsaw against here because it's going to mark it. Sometimes it's nice with a multi-tool. You can just put like a credit card or something flat between it, cut it off, and then you can plane them or sand them back. So we'll do that next. Obviously without marking the newel and then using a really sharp plane or a chisel, carefully take them back to where the newel is. If you leave too much sticking out, when you plane it, it sometimes want to crack. So you just got to be a bit gentle. And it's not a lot, it's a tiny little bit. And it'll soon clean it off. And I find it simple to do it like that. And if you've got one handy, a quick buzz over with a little sander. And that's ready to go up and in. What we're doing, Frank, is we're going to literally
go up like that.
Yeah, it can work up like that, and it will just the string might want to hit that corner of the string might want to hit that. In which case we should be going a little bit more straight. So I've added a little bit of batten at the top there, which is what that nosing will hook over as well. But apart from that, it's quite slapped. We've got a little bit of space to manoeuvre it in. So we're going to turn it the right way, aim it up into the hole, and just sort of jiggle it in. There's plenty of space to get this one in.
Yep.
So
this batten's going underneath.
So this batten here, once we get it to there, it'll hold itself. All we've got to do is just hold it with that hitting the wall, and it'll just hold itself. And then we'll just pop this batten underneath, and I'll get the tool newel, and I'll just slide it onto that mortise because it actually sits on the floor. Now taking the right orientation, just put it onto the floor like this, gently. Alright, now what I'll probably do is if we can get it so far, and then I'll go upstairs.
Yep.
And I'll just hook it in, alright?
Righto.
But we can actually reach it from here, believe it or not, we can push it from there.
Yeah, just rest the nosing on there.
So if we take it like this, get it the right way up, get your string over, there we go. Alright, let the newel go right up in the air. Right, hold it there, yeah?
Yeah, I got that.
I'm going to take the top.
Yeah, I got that.
Alright, so going right to the bottom.
Yeah.
You can take the string at the very bottom. I've got the top. That string.
Yeah.
Just ease it. Oh, that's it. Right. That's exactly as we want it.
Righto.
I've got the stair. You get the bit of batten I showed you.
One there.
That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah? If you just come up here and I'll go down there.
Yep. I'll just hold it so it doesn't
Yeah, so you're just going to pull back.
Yeah.
Because the weight's there. I'm just going to go slot that newel on there.
Yeah.
Just so it's on. I'm going to just basically loosely slot this in.
Yeah.
Into its position.
It should go in there now if you, yeah, like that.
Because the stairs will now be supported by the newel.
Yeah.
So if I just ease that off, there you can sort of see that it's going to want to hold. The newel's now sitting on the deck. So we've got the top flight in and it went in really nicely. We've also not fixed it at all. All it's doing is holding itself in situ, just the fact that it locks over the top and it's balanced on this newel. And I've also put in the batten. Now I use the batten to actually hold it all and secure it all until we get the whole thing in, because we still need some flexibility to be able to get our winders and kites in by actually manoeuvring these newels in and out.
So make sure you look out for that video coming very soon, where we get that very complicated bit of string and all of those components, and we get it all the way around, keeping it square, keeping it level, parallel. And that's something you've really got to check out because it's quite an involved job. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Catch you all again soon.